and this one is specific to you guys because this one is all about when you go off to school. So what I like to do when I'm doing a presentation is just kind of gauge what everybody thinks hair is, and then we're going to go straight into the workshop and just give you guys some wonderful tips about going off to school, taking care of your hair, and anything and everything you want to know about hair. I've got your back, okay? So, let's just kind of get started this morning. Does anybody here know exactly what hair is? Like, what is hair? It's coming out of your scalp, it's going out of your body, it's long, you can comb it, you can curl it. But exactly, does anybody know, like, what is hair? It's a type of fiber. Very good. All right, somebody's alert this morning, okay? All right, one more just to make the conversation interesting. Anybody want to take a stab at it? What do you think hair is? Not quite sure. You got an answer? No? So who?
Cell system.
Part of your cell system? Okay. Keratin. All right, you guys are sharp this morning. Okay, so now based on the response, this is actually what fuels my motivation and my passion to come from behind the chair and show hairstylists in another capacity. And so one of the things that we like to point out, I bring up my little partner here, and this is the human hair, and what it is showing you is that your hair is actually skin. That's what hair is. So what they don't tell you at the hair salon is that the way that you care for your skin is how you should be caring for your hair. Now, unfortunately, we have three big misconceptions when it comes to hair. One of the biggest misconceptions is that race determines your hair texture, your hair type. So what I like to do is let all of you know that the color of your skin, your nationality, your location, your association with your group, your family, that doesn't really have anything to do with your hair. It's your parents. So your mom and your dad, they give you your hair texture and your hair type. So that's a genetic assignment. As far as the actual texture of it, it's the shape of that mouth of that follicle. So you need to know this because when you go to the hair supply store and you buy hair care products, how do you guys shop for your hair care products? Anybody want to tell me how do you shop for your hair care products? Stuff that doesn't have alcohol in it. Okay, that's a good one. Anybody else? How do you shop for your hair care products?
Just like all natural.
All natural? Okay, that's good. So she's looking for ingredients or something that she's looking for. Someone's looking for credibility, so she wants to make sure it's all natural. Anything else?
Price.
Oh yeah, we like the price. Yes. Okay. The brand. All right. Okay. So let me tell you what they don't tell you at the hair salon when you're shopping for hair care products. The most important thing you need to know is that when a chemist goes to make hair care products, they formulate it to your texture and your type. These are what we call marketing. This is how they get your money. You can buy the best products with the best ingredients. You can buy a product that's all natural, made from soap root and blackstrap molasses and peanut butter and jelly. And it can be 99 cents. And it can be made by Oprah Winfrey. But if it is not for your hair texture and hair type, it gets the gas face. It won't work. So the easiest way, because the question always comes up, well then how do we determine, how do we know what our texture and type is? I call this have an affair with your hair. What you want to do is go to the mirror and look at the direction that your hair grows from your scalp. Now, I know there's this big push on the natural hair movement about hair typing and hair mapping. Is anybody familiar with hair typing or hair mapping or lowest scale system? Anybody familiar with these? The 4A and the 4B? Yeah, the 4A. Okay, anybody ever heard of that? Show of hands? Oh, wow, that stuff's pretty popular. Okay, the challenge with the lowest scale system is that they're not going to give you that true texture the way companies formulate. So let's take my hair care product, for example. Now, I did not formulate this. This is what we call a private label. And so what we do is we look for ingredients that's going to match the people that we're trying to service. So when the chemist goes to make this product and formulate it, he's going to formulate it for the actual texture. The lowest scale and the hair mapping system is all about the Benjamins. Because hair is still, skin is still protein. I can tell you that you have a 4A or a 2B or a 2C, but the question is, what do I do with the hair? What do I need to do with my hair? So now that we know that hair is skin, we should also know, someone said that it was a keratin with a protein. Yes, so hair is a protein, excuse my bad drawing, and the outside layer is called your cuticle layer. That's what makes your hair look pretty and shiny. And it's also why the hair tangles. So when we hear words like kinky, nappy, coily, can't you, don't you, why not, S for apple, J for jack, you ain't got no hair in the back, all these funny things, okay? It's really not that. But what happened is racism plays a part in why most people with textured hair thinks their hair is actually nappy. When people describe their hair, so if you go around the room and say, describe your hair. You can describe your hair. Describe your hair. Kinky, coily. Yeah. Describe your hair. Relaxed. Kinky. Thick, strong. She's like, no, I don't know yet. How do you describe your hair? Damaged. Coily. I don't even know.
It depends.
It depends.
When it's wet.
When it's
like,
wet, it's
right now.
It's curly when it's wet.
So it's curly?
Oh, my hair nappy when it's wet.
Your hair's nappy, okay? Nappy, curly when it's wet, okay? She's like, that's interesting.
I don't know.
I don't even know. Not quite sure. Recovery. Thick, okay? So we can tell by some of these words that we're using to describe hair. Now, I don't know if you all know another word for a hair salon. It's called the beauty salon. So in our industry, we think all hair is what? You better say that. So the words that most people, now this is not every single person of African ancestry or every single person with textured hair. But whenever I do this exercise, the most common word I hear is nappy, and I hear kinky. Now, this is the part of my presentation that it gets just a little bit, I don't really want to hear this. This is a very difficult topic. But since you guys are going off to college, education is not only key in your hair, but it's also key when you go to school. So when you go to school, after I say what I'm going to say, prayerfully you guys are going to get some more education about this topic. And then the image and then this is why they had me come in, because your image, while you're in school and college, you're kind of finding your way around. You got to go to class. Nobody has time for this kind of hair, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to be prepping yourself, because this is how you're going to introduce yourself into the world of career. I don't want to say work. I want to say career, because today you guys are like, I'm not working for anybody. I'm going to start my own company. So I changed the word to career, but when I was growing up, we called it work, okay? So times have changed. So here's the thing, going back to education. Let me just put a little arrow here. Education on words like nappy and kinky. All right, so here we go. How many of you are familiar with slavery? All right, good. Okay, whew, I can say woosah, because some children are not familiar with slavery. Okay, so on the slave ships, okay, who can tell us what do you think happened when the slave traders brought the slaves to the Americas? Right here. They cut their hair off, okay? So now that they cut, why do you think they cut their hair off? Why did the slave trader says off with her hair, shave it off, shave it, his got to go, hers have to go. Why do you think?
Their own identity.
Right, identity.
Because they were different.
Different.
They were going to work in the hot sun.
important. The slave traders cut the hair off because different, someone said, what was the first thing you said?
Their identity.
Identity. Someone else says, for work, in the hot sun. Any other reason? Why do you think the slave traders said, we have to cut their hair off?
Oh, jealousy.
Jealousy. Now, I always find this very interesting. My background, before I became a hairstylist, I worked in social work as an outreach worker. And so I have a degree in social science where we study human behavior like forever and a day, okay? And so I'm always amazed at the empathy shown towards slave traders. So when we see words like identity, work, jealousy, hot sun, not identity, different, work, hot sun, jealousy, that's very interesting because best believe they didn't care about any of those things. But she hit the nail on the head when she said identity. So when you want to just, take someone out of their element, you rob them of their identity. So when you guys go off to college, you want to be solid in your own identity. Now, that's not to say when you go to college, you're going to be robbed of your identity, but you're going to be tainted, you're going to be tempted, you're going to be, introduced to some different concepts of your identity. So you guys are here with your parents. So use the foundation that your parents are giving you by way of your image so that you can know who you are, so that words like nappy and kinky. So once they shaved the hair off, they began to classify humans according to how they looked. And they picked nice words to describe people of the lighter persuasion, and they picked some not so good adjectives to describe people of the darker color persuasion. So who can tell me what they think nappy really means? Dirty, good.
Tangled.
Nappy means tangled, dirty. Anybody else? Unkempt. Dirty. Oops. Ugly. Anybody have one more? Nappy really means dirty, unkempt, ugly. All right. So the true meaning of nappy is actually a diaper that collects urine and pee and boo-boo. So if you look up in the because you have to understand, we borrow our language from other, parts of the world. We make words up. So when you look up in the dictionary for nappy, you're going to get a very interesting true meaning of what that word means. So these words are good words. Kinky hair, we know that kinky hair is referring to knots, things that coil, catch together. The only reason why the hair is doing this is because your cuticles are raised up. So when you go off to college and your hair becomes difficult to manage, all you need to buy is a product that lowers your pH, which lays down the cuticle, and you can comb your hair, and it is definitely not nappy, and it is definitely not kinky. These are mindsets that keeps you in the store. If you think your hair is difficult, if you think your hair is nappy, if you think your hair is hard to manage, if you think your hair is kinky, your mindset is going to be that you need to spend a lot of money to take care of your hair. You can buy some nice low pH conditioner for about $3.99, and you can go to your favorite supply store, and it's called Infusium. Infusium is also a synthetic protein, which is what your hair is made out of, and it's going to help save you a lot of money and time. Hair care is about three things: the right products, the right tools, and the right techniques. And as long as you have those three things, it doesn't matter whose name is on the bottle. It has to match your texture. So you look in the mirror, if it's growing at an angle, and you can look close, it's wavy. If it's laying flat to your scalp, like you just can't, it's laying down, it's curly or coily. If it grows straight out, it's straight. If you see the frizz, you got to add afro to that. So it can be afro coily. It can be afro curly. It can be afro wavy. Like my hair is afro wavy. So this is a lot of heat on it, about 450 degrees. I've got a lot of olive oil on it so it can stay down straight, you know what I'm saying? Because if not, it's gonna be pushed. The afro will take over. So when you go to college, do not get into a fight with the afro. Embrace it. And just use some nice low pH, the right comb to get through it. All right? So let's get through some questions about what they don't tell you at the hair salon. So who has a question? I've always wanted to know, how come? How does it get longer? Why does my hair break off? What makes it damage? Anything you want to know. Question?
Why does the top of my hair not grow with the back? I have to get this cut every 2 weeks.
All right,
I don't want a
so
mullet.
she says the back of the hair is growing, the top of the hair is not. So here's what we teach about hair. Hair does something called atom breaks. I'm big on words, by the way. So atom breaks is a fancy word for tell a story. So you can visit a hair salon, and we can say, how's your hair? And you can say, oh, my hair is fine. And then your hair can tell us something different. So in the story of your hair, tell me, how do you begin to shampoo your hair? So you take the product, you put it in your hand.
Start at the roots.
Okay, where do you put your hands at first? The front. Right there, okay? All right.
Trying to stimulate the growth.
How to stimulate the growth, okay? All right, so she's putting her hands up top, trying to stimulate, okay? Whoops. So, may I touch your hair?
Absolutely.
Okay, so everybody, our eyes over here. So she takes the product, she puts it in her hand, and then she places it right on top. All right, so the hair is growing from where? The scalp, correct?
Yeah.
Do you guys think the shampoo is getting to her scalp?
No.
Very good. Why not?
Because she didn't put it on her scalp.
Right. She put it on her hair.
There you
So in
go.
all actuality, the scalp isn't really clean. She has more hair here and less hair down here. So when she goes to put it down here, it's shorter. So the shampoo can surely travel to the scalp. But here, what she would have to do is section it. What's your name, darling?
Julie.
Oh.
Mikaela? So you can let Mikaela help you with your hair.
You want to wash it later?
That's right. So according to Mikaela, what she needs to do is section her hair, and she wants to deliberately apply the shampoo to the scalp. And this is very, very important when you go off to school, because here in the United States, there is no global practice for how to shampoo hair, particularly when you have texture or very long hair. Most people are just generically taking the product, putting and doing what she's doing. When you have textured hair, you're going to see more hair loss, more problems, because you're not getting the shampoo directly onto the scalp. So when I travel around, I teach everybody to do that technique. I haven't come up with a name for it, but Mikaela, we might have to sit down and talk about a partnership with a special name for our technique we just came up with. So from now on, let's take, what's your name again? Sydney. All right, I know Sydney's my little cousin right here. I'm gonna make it up a little bit, okay? It was Sydney when she was 2 years old. So let's say Sydney said, I'm going to shampoo my hair. I'm off at school. Typically, what she would do is wet this hair and begin to shampoo it, correct? So what I would encourage her to do is to section her hair into like 6 parts. Down the middle, 1, 2, 3, right? Take a spray bottle, spray it at the scalp. To Mikaela's point, take the shampoo and apply it where? And now, right, would her hair ever tangle if she did it like that? No. So all this, because when people go to college, we hear it all the time. I went to college, my hair was long, and all my hair broke off. So when you go to college, this is going to help you out. You section the hair, and you apply the shampoo directly to the scalp. Put in a little bowl or something, you know, and scrub it. Then work your fingers down. And then this way, you'll never tangle your hair. You'll never complain that your hair was damaged. It takes too long. And this should take about 15 minutes. 15 minutes. If you want, let's go over here to, this is my other cousin. What's your name, cousin? Yeah, me. Ty? Okay, this is my cousin Ty. She said, you ain't my cousin. This is my cousin today, okay? So let's take this beautiful textured hair here. So she's like, well, that might work for Sydney, but what about me? Good question. So for her, what she's going to do is apply conditioner to her hair, spray some water, and detangle it first. Then she's going to have maybe more like 8 sections. And then she's going to apply the shampoo where, Michaela? To the scalp. Listen to Michaela now. To the scalp. And then she's going to shampoo each section, work it down, pin it back up. When she gets in the shower, she can rinse it all out, apply a leave-in conditioner, her favorite styling agent, she's back to her ponytails. If she takes this out and begins to shampoo it all over, then what's going to happen? The afro's going to take over. I'm telling you right now. The afro's going to be like, what's up? What you want to do? You're going to lose because the afro is going to respond to the what? The climate. We call that climatize. So if she sections it correct and she shampoos it and she doesn't pin it back down, what's going to happen to her section? It's going to poof back out. Exactly. So you have to pin the hair back down. So when she sections it, pin it back. So when you guys are going off to college and people are asking you, what do you want for school? I need a comb. I need about 20 bags of those clippy things because those are going to be your fingers to help. So don't forget your hair care products and don't forget the right hair care products while you're at a shameless plug.
I say this is a great example because 2 days ago this hair was straight.
Yes?
But she's always pinning.
Yes. Yeah, she's good.
Should she be washing it daily?
She should be. She doesn't have to wash it daily, but she certainly can wash it at least once a week. If you're shampooing your hair every 2 weeks, you're gonna have a problem. Why do you? What do you think would happen if you wait 2 weeks to shampoo your hair? Build up. Who said that? Yes. We got to give you a discount.
But
to
if
come
you
to our
wash your
salon.
hair too much, isn't that a bad thing?
If you wash your hair too much, is that a bad thing? That comes from what, guys? Slavery.
Take out too much of your old.
Slavery taught us that. There is no, it's not written anywhere that if people of colors or with textured hair shampooing your hair too much is going to come out. You have to do what the fabric calls for. Because we're not in the regimen. We're used to brushing our teeth. We're used to washing our armpits. We have a regimen. We have time. But because of the textured hair myth, that is going to take a long time. It's going to dry it out. If you use the proper shampoo, it will not dry your hair out. I promise you. And if you don't, say if she says, well, I don't care what you say. It take too long. Good response. Because then you can use essential oils. You can take some essential oils, take an old bottle with product, spray some, put the water in it, about 20 drops of your favorite essential oils. All essential oils are antifungal, antimicrobial, antiviral, and antibacterial. Who can tell me what's growing from the scalp? Very good. Just smart girl. What's going to be a chemist or something? All right? So she knows. That's right. Let's give it up. What's your name?
Amari.
Let's give it up for Amari in the house. Yes. She is absolutely correct. Your scalp is a microbial habitat, just like your mouth, your vagina, your buttocks, your eyes, your nose, your ears. These orifices are all self-cleansing. So you have to wash the fungus away from the scalp. But in the event that you have locks, you have hair additions, you have braids, and you're like, you have your hair added on. You're not going to want to wash that. You just spent, what, about $150? This stuff is expensive, guys. We make a lot of money off of you guys. And you want to protect your investment. So she would take her tap water, her favorite essential oil, it doesn't matter, but peppermint and spearmint is great. Not tea tree oil because it's going to make it a little too dry. And she's going to spray it at her scalp.
Right, I use tea tree oil. Everything.
Nah. Don't remember, this stuff is designed to get your money. Because if you use the tea tree oil, it's going to make your hair so dry because the pH is too high. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? So just use peppermint and just mist it. And then what do you think when she missed it, what will the essential oils do to the debris on her scalp? It'll do what? It'll disintegrate it. Now, as long as she doesn't get it wet, it won't go poof. So if she just takes it, go night tap, it'll take out the smoke smell. If you're cooking greens and stuff, you know, when you cook greens, you smell like greens and stuff or whatever. A fish, right. So you can spray this, it'll take the odor out and it'll clean the scalp. So good question. If you just really I am not big on washing my hair that often. I don't care what you say, hair lady. I don't blame you. You have to do what's comfortable for you. But you want to make sure that you are keeping your scalp clean. And the best way is either use soap and water or you can use essential oils. Okay? Another question. Yes, ma'am. Any essential oil, spearmint. Here's the thing about the tea tree. Anybody familiar with the pH scale? Yeah. All right, so your pH scale, 7 is neutral. So you go this way, you're acidic. If you come up, you're alkaline, right? When things in the United States, to be organic, it has to be 7. Now remember, we have texture. So these cuticles are rising up because my hair is responding to this moisture microscopically. Okay? So if it's 7, it's not going to lay these cuticles down. So your organic products are going to be ineffective. It has to be low. Your tea tree is too high. So that's why it's dry. Okay? Next, all right. Love, peace, and hair grease. You know. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God. I didn't know that. Don't forget to buy the book, all right? You got it. You know that. And it's going to be available on download.
And we also have a book signing this Sunday at the Hair Salon. So come back, get some more tidbits. Thank everybody for watching the Facebook Live. We live at Warrensville Heights High School for the HBCU College Fair.
Thank you. Good to see you again. Yes, thank you so much for your support. Thank you.
Miss LaDosha Wright, dropping that knowledge. Thanks for coming.
All right. Well, are you guys sitting in the next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit.
I'll be in touch this evening.
Please do. All right.
Thanks everybody for coming.
I'll do some research on that one thing I was telling you about.
Here you go.
Thank you.
We also have a release party too.
You come back.
No, I didn't want to answer that because I thought that you should answer the question. Thank you.
How's it going?
Great. I just need some water in my mouth. It's so hot.
Okay, I got a water. I have a question.
Yes.
All right.
So what would you recommend? What would you recommend for?
Thanks everybody for watching. Tune in to the next time.
Not all the way there. It's still there. I think I have an anemia. I think that's probably the problem.
Well,